my West Coasters out there. Welcome to our heart medicine meditation practice time. And it's always nice on these Tuesdays to gather. It feels very precious. It's just an hour and a half a week, but it can do a lot of good for your practice as we use this time always to remember to practice, to remember our hearts, to remember that love is the answer. I always say that, everyone. Love is the answer to all of life's questions. And if you really think about it, it's very true. Whatever you're struggling with, you will see that loving the moment, loving yourself is the highest answer. On some level, can we meet that moment? So our heart medicine practice is metta, where we're always inclining our minds to loving kindness, to meet this moment. We know there's a lot of challenges and uncertainties as the world is such a small place now. It feels like we're all just, maybe it's always been that way, but it's apparent now how interconnected we all are and how powerful these practices are. So what we will be doing tonight, as always, is we'll take some time to do our practice. We will also have some time for a Dharma talk tonight and always making space for some Q&A. And I just want to welcome all the new people or all the people on YouTube. We like to live stream on there when we're able to, just to shine our light out. Also, metta is a practice of resonance. So as we practice, we are the ecosystem. We are awakening our hearts, awaken the hearts of others. It's the law of attraction, the law of resonance, the law of interconnectedness. So we're all healing each other when we open the heart. So I love that. And so let's see where people are calling in from. And I know some folks are just jumping on. Just come on in and let's put where you are chatting from tonight. Where are you practicing? I always love to see all the states. I see Missouri in there. I see Connecticut. Yes, we have Vancouver Island, our Canadian friends, Santa Rosa, Laguna Beach, Arizona, and Truckee, LA. I love it. New Mexico, Ontario, Philadelphia. Hey, we have someone from Alaska, the great state of Alaska. I feel like I'm almost like reading like a heavenly roll call here. Is everyone accounted for? Representing your state. And of course, as you know, Baba and I are representing Atlanta, Georgia. We are live as always. We always want to give our thanks to Baba Diva, our alchemist who holds our classes. So welcome, Jerome from Marin and Arkansas. And we still have folks jumping in. So I love this. And more from Sedona. So beautiful. Thank you all for coming. And as we do our practices, we always remind ourselves that every moment of metta is a seed. It's a moment of love. And we work with ourselves, particularly in this practice, okay? Because I really believe that when you fill up your own cup, then your cup runneth over onto others, right? But the metta, we have to understand how it feels. Unconditional love. So again, metta is like the sun. It is unconditional. It shines on everything, right? This is a practice the Buddha gave as an antidote to fear. And, there's nothing like when you are in fear or you're getting anxiety to come back to your practice. Immediately what happens? Your whole nervous system slows down and it steadies and we feel the ground under us. So this practice, metta, compassion, equanimity, and joy make up what we call the 4 Brahma Viharas. This is the heart of the Buddha's teachings, This is what we're always cultivating in our garden, right? Imagine you're pulling the weeds out, which is the weeds of greed, hatred, and delusion, and you're planting seeds all the time of love and compassion. And so it's a concentration practice because it does require some focus here, right? And just do your absolute best. But, sometimes it's easy, sometimes it can feel difficult. But however it is, the key to metta is to keep going. Imagine you're just that farmer out there in your garden and you just keep putting these seeds in the ground and trust that through the power of your intention and your sincerity, we water them and they grow, right? They begin to grow inside of us in very miraculous ways. So I want you to kind of hold that image of this garden. You're planting your own sanctuary in your heart. And when that garden starts to really flourish, it's a joy for all beings. It's not just for you then. It's like your heart becomes a refuge. And I tell you what we need more than ever are heart refuges right now. Hallelujah. Church of Metta, give me a hallelujah on that, right? My gosh, it is so much of the opposite that it feels revolutionary when you see someone who's expressing love and compassion and for themselves and the world, right? Ourselves and the world. We are the world. The world is in our own heart. It's in our bodies. We are that system. Okay, hallelujah, Jeannie. That's right. And so what we do here is we remind ourselves by holding the visualization. This is a key part of the practice, is to try to hold the image of yourself. If it's helpful, everyone, you can get a photo. Oftentimes I encourage people when they're doing the 30-day practice or a 60-day practice to find a photo, something that touches you. It might be an image of yourself as a child or just a favorite photo, right? And you put that out there as your vision and put yourself on your altar. We're always putting exalted beings, but you are that being, right? You are worthy of all that love and devotion, you yourself. So we put that image, we hold that image in our mind when we're doing metta, and then we keep reciting the phrases over and over. And here's the thing, you just keep them going. The mind will wander endlessly. That's what its habits are like, right? It's just all of us have a sense of attention wandering. People often go, I'm not good, my mind wanders. I go, welcome to the world of meditation. Your mind will wander 10,000 times. But you'll start to notice that if you focus and you keep with the phrases, that gives you an anchor. Okay, so the mind wanders, come back. Also, everyone, reminding yourself you can do metta with your hand on your heart. If it starts to feel dry or tiresome, reminding yourself that you can touch your body, especially as we work with the phrase, may my body be healthy and strong. So as we hold the image, we recite, may I be happy and peaceful. May I be safe and protected. It's beautiful. We protect everything that we love, our family, our pets, our loved ones, our kids, our friends. May I be healthy and strong. On that one, try to send the energy deep into the body, okay? And the fourth phrase we say is, may I live with ease and joy and well-being. And that's to the present moment, everyone. Whatever the moment is, may I live with ease and joy, even if it feels like your heart is breaking or, we arrive with a lot of different emotions in the moment in our practice. You don't have to get rid of emotion to practice. We work with whatever is there. It could be grief. I'm experiencing a lot of grief, just letting go of things lately. It's the natural cycle when we're in touch with our heart, right? We go through joy, we go through grief. My mother just left after being with me for a week, and just our stories of my grandmother in our lives just produces this tenderness for the fragile and tenderness for being alive right now, everybody, right? The heart medicine is medicine of deep compassion for ourselves, our hearts, what we carry in the heart. So feel comfortable as you work with your heart, okay? You can feel into your heart and really feel the love in your body. Work with your body as an energetic system that is feeling every seed that you plant. It's taking a breath, okay? So try as you do the practice to just have a sense of 1% of your awareness in your heart. Okay, so you might pause, take a breath, come back, and then begin with the phrases. Stay connected to the heart center, stay connected to the belly, right? It's not just mental work here. We're embodying the medicine of the heart, right? We're awakening that heart center. We're abiding in that. Brahma means heavenly and Vihara means vehicle. So the mind of love and compassion is a heavenly vehicle. And it can take us all the way to liberation when we combine it with wisdom. So your metta is a heavenly vehicle for your mind, right? We step out of fear and terror, which is so painful, and we move into this more heavenly vehicle. Okay, so let us prepare with that in mind. Welcome, everybody. Find yourself a comfortable place. We'll sit for 30 minutes, sometimes a few minutes more toward the end, but I'll guide it for a little while. There'll be times where I'll be quiet, but you just keep the phrases going, okay? Don't let them stop. Pick up right where you leave off. Don't stop. Keep going. Every seed for this period of time is very powerful. Okay. So with that, let us do a little body scan. Body scan is a way to presence your energy more in the body. So maybe start taking a big breath in and a big breath out and allow your whole system to begin to settle. And maybe beginning with feeling the top of your head as you come into your body, and you might move your head and your neck around, relaxing your jaw and your face. Allow your shoulders to relax, and if you need to rotate your shoulders or move your neck, it's a good time to just make these adjustments so that you can relax your body, soften your system. And we do that with awareness, with body-based awareness. So feel your hands and your arms now. And really notice how your hands are placed. So you find a comfortable position for your hands, folded or on your knees, or just a way that you can just feel them very softly. And as you take these breaths and become aware of your body, you can even use the word peace on the inhale and peace on the exhale to just allow your body to just soften with the inhale of peace and the exhale. So bring your awareness to your heart center now and take some breaths right in the center of the heart. Imagine your heart is doing a deep inhale and a deep exhale. And you're breathing in peace on the inhale and peace on the exhale, softening everything as you go. Now feel your belly, deep in the belly, underneath the belly button. Take some very deep belly breaths. And on the exhale, let your whole body let go of anything that is being held in the belly. Any clenching, tightness, restriction. Allow the air of the breath and the word peace to just be breathed into the base of the spine and the nervous system, deep in the belly. Expand and soften. And feel the space of letting go through the belly breath. Now feel your sitting bones making contact with the cushion or the chair or wherever it is that you're sitting. And we want to do this practice with our hearts a little bit elevated, spine upright, and feel the solidity of the seat and the contact of the earth or the ground, wherever it is, and just feel that uprightness, that pressure. And now feeling your legs, the upper legs and the lower legs. We'll feel your knees and bring your awareness to the knees as we sweep through the body. Feel your calves and your ankles, and then bringing your awareness to your feet. Feel the bottoms and the top of your feet. It might feel vibration or tingles or cold or heat. And then from the top of the head to the bottom of the feet, you're just sweeping your awareness through the body all the way down, softening. Let go on each exhale and just settle into your body. And now bring your awareness to the heart center as we begin the practice. I'm beginning with an image of yourself at any time and place, as if you're looking in a mirror and you're just seeing your whole face, maybe smiling, just there, present. And we want to see ourselves through a lens that is not distorted. So see yourself through the eyes of Kuan Yin, the mother of compassion, through the eyes of the great compassionate one, through the great mother. See yourself. And we'll begin with offering, may I be happy and peaceful. And you can say your name, or if you have a nickname with each phrase. May I be safe and protected. May I be healthy and strong in this body. And see if you can, on this phrase, just send some love through the body. May this body be healthy and strong. And may I live with ease and joy and well-being. And as you work, keep softening in the body. If there's tension anywhere, just allow the breath to work through it. Go at your own pace. You could also say, may you, dear one, be happy and peaceful as you hold the image of yourself. May you be safe and protected. May you be healthy and strong in your body. And may you live with ease and joy and well-being. You can use either I or you can even say, may my heart be happy and peaceful. May my heart be safe and protected. May my heart be healthy and strong. May my heart live with ease and joy and well-being. And taking your time, each phrase is a gift, a seed. So on your own here for some time, keep softening in the heart center as you go. And stay connected to your image as best you can with each phrase. May I be happy and peaceful. May I be safe and protected. May I be healthy and strong in this body. And may I live with ease and joy and well-being. And see yourself through the eyes of Kuan Yin, Mother of Compassion, softening If the mind wanders, just bring it back. Begin again anytime you slip off into thought. No problem, just start with the next phrase. May I be happy and peaceful. May I be safe and protected. May I be healthy and strong in this body. And may I live with ease and joy and well-being. And keep softening the belly and the heart. May I be happy and peaceful. May I be safe and protected. May I be healthy and strong in this body. And may I live with ease and joy and well-being. You can put your hand on your heart or take your right hand and place it in your left hand, just helping direct the energy of metta. May I be happy and peaceful. May I be safe and protected. May I be healthy and strong in this body. May I live with ease and joy and well-being. Stay connected to your body, soften. Stay connected to the image of yourself. May I be happy and peaceful. May I be safe and protected. May I be healthy and strong in this body. And keep the phrases going here, taking your time. Each phrase is a seed, a gift, and a jewel. You're offering kindness, friendliness to yourselves. This is our practice. May my heart be happy and peaceful. May my heart be safe and protected. May my heart be healthy and strong in my body. And may my heart live with ease and joy and well-being. And then for the last few moments of the meditation, just beginning to expand the metta outward. So imagining that the sun is right in the center of the heart, the sunlight, this great beam of light radiating outward. And so really breathing that in, this great light through the heart, this metta, boundless, immeasurable light shining out, and now bringing your family and your friends and your community into this light, those that you work with, that you live with, the neighbors and your Sangha members, all the beautiful beings on this call. We just presence everyone in this great light. emanating from our heart center, we offer, may you all, our communities and families and friends, be happy and peaceful. May our communities be safe and protected. May our families and communities, may they all be healthy and strong in their bodies. And may our communities and friends and family members be living with ease and joy and well-being. And now allow this light to keep growing from this place of your city and your state and encompassing the whole state and then all the United States and then North America, South America, all the continents and nations and countries. May all beings be happy and peaceful. And see this light going out and out like the sun, shining on every place. May all beings everywhere be safe and protected. And as we send this light out, we see all the animals and the land and in the oceans and in the sky and under the earth. We include all the animals. May you all be healthy and strong. And may the Mother Earth live with ease and joy and well-being. And see if you can shine this Metta sun, boundless light onto the earth body, the universe and the galaxies. May all of creation live with ease and joy and well-being. And as we breathe that light in deep into ourselves, we breathe it out for the ecosystem, the collective heart. We merge our hearts with all of those other great hearts, those who have walked the path of Metta, who have realized the end of suffering. We merge our hearts with theirs throughout all space and time. And when you're ready, you can bring your hands together in prayer position at the heart. And as we take a bow, we bow to our goodness, we bow to the practice, and we bow to all the celestial beings and the goodness in all of us. And we give thanks for this beautiful practice time. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Wow, that was a good one, everybody. Baba, let us ring the bells. Let us ring those bells exactly as we alert the spirit world, and we give thanks for Such a beautiful, every time I always say that was the best one. It feels like every Tuesday it gets better. I don't know how it is out there, but yeah, feel the sun. And what we're doing, everyone, is we're just activating this practice, okay? So I'm glad you all liked it. So now just moving your body around, everyone. If you need to just do a little back stretch before we share some Dharma, or just let yourself get comfortable, or grab your tea and anything else. But I just so appreciate that. I feel like if we have millions of people doing metta, that the earth will rejuvenate itself very quickly. The great turning as we rest in the great heart. Know that your prayers and your intentions and your visualizations have great power, everyone. Don't underestimate the power of your own practice. This is essentially important to remember as we're coming alive. Part of our waking up is to know that those prayers of love and compassion that you put out, they affect you, especially when you're healing yourself. Metta is a heart medicine. You will begin to feel more. This is what scares people about metta, or makes them feel vulnerable. Like, we're going out into the world with these open hearts, and it's like, yes, because there's really nowhere else to go but into the heart, right? There's no other refuge for us other than love and compassion. And so reminding yourself all the time that metta is a practice, and every time you come back, you are strengthening that habit of self-love. You're putting those seeds in the ground. Everything that you think, every action with the body, the speech, and the mind, according to all the Buddhist texts, you're putting a seed in the ground, whether you're aware of it or not. You're putting some seed in the ground, a seed of hatred, a seed of love, a seed of delusion, a seed of clarity, a seed of fear, right? So we already have our mantras going all the time. What mantra are you saying all the time that you're not aware of? That becomes your sacred mantra. So let the metta begin to replace that narrative. That's the power also of mantra practice, right? Rather you say Om Mani Padme Hum, or Om Namah Shivaya, or Gate Gate, Paragate, Parasamgate, Bodhispa. Mantras themselves, the repetition, they're called mind protection. So when you're focused on a mantra, you're interrupting that traditional narration that goes on in the mind, which might be like, I don't have enough. Oh my God, what's going to happen? That narrative that the mind is generating in the collective, that's amplified on, man, it's hard to get away from it because it's amplified on every video, text messages, all the mainstream media channels, right? It's hard to consciously think of other things and to practice. So reminding yourself to remember to practice daily metta. You go for a walk, say your metta phrases. You're cooking some beans and rice, do your metta phrases. You're making your bed, try to pick up the practice in a sense of continuity, right? May I be happy and peaceful. May I be safe and protected. May I be healthy and strong. May I live with ease and joy. So it becomes the default, the new default setting, right? Everything is programs here. So we're taking out the fear-based program, and we're trying to put in the life-sustaining program here, right? The refuge program, the ground. So yes, I'm so happy that you all are enjoying this. And yes, I wanted to say a couple things as we go into this, but I'm always encouraging us to practice, My favorite thing right now is to go on long walks. I've been just so enjoying this, like 2 hours. I wish I could go longer than that, but I go on all these walks around all over Atlanta, the Decatur area in which I live, and all these sidewalks, and I'm practicing. I often have teachings playing, I'll stop, I'll do a mantra, I'll do metta, I'll imagine that my feet have little smiles under or lips under, and every step I'm just sending peace and blessings with my feet. And this is so joyful. It's like, wow, we can find these moments and make our own. We're always looking for love outside, right? It's like metta is the generator. At any moment when you feel lonely, sad, lost, come back to your practice. That's how you do it. You come back and you go, okay, here we are. Let us begin. And just take 5 minutes or 25 minutes or 5 phrases. Everyone can have a reset on your heart, right? We reset, we come back into presence, and we remember. So I wanted to share a little bit as I was looking for this book that I had called Ethics for a New Millennium. It was a book written by the Dalai Lama, and when it was 1999, right? And we were turning into the year 2000. Remember 25 years ago? I'll just never forget when everyone was stocking up on all the stuff, thinking the end of the world was coming because the computers were gonna, I don't know what the dilemma was, but it was something with 000 would cancel the world. And, you know, here we are again, on this moment of people are stocking up. But I remember the Dalai Lama, and I saw a clip of him recently, and he said, an ethics of love. We need an ethical revolution, and there's ethics of the heart. That when we start resting more in the heart, we naturally become more awake, aware, and ethical. But I wanted to talk some about what are the ethics of love that we can train in everybody. What is this new 5D consciousness? It's not really new. It's just about remembering. There's nothing new here. It's really important to remember this. Like, whatever we're teaching or saying or communicating, this is what you already know. I'm just a reminder. And on these classes, guess what? I'm reminding myself. You're part of my practice of remembering. So I get to remember the ethics of love right now. But how do we begin to take our practice out into the world as to have metta be embodied in our body, our speech, and our mind? Those are the 3 areas, right? How we feel in our body, what our speech is saying, and then how we act, right? Based on thoughts. Thoughts create the world. That's the opening words of the Dhammapada, right? With our thoughts, we create the world. Think or act with a mind full of love, happiness follows. This is a famous text the Buddha said. He was sharing how much power our minds truly have. So I wanted to talk a little bit about this ethics of love and the trainings that we train in as metta beings as we move out in the world, right? And the first training that we do is we practice non-harming. And in your life, how can we work with this idea that we will never kill anything, that we'll always try to take up the mind of non-harming, right? And this becomes complicated when you have ants in your kitchen and there's a bug in your shower. I can't tell you how long it's taken me to get the smallest animals out, like with little pieces of notepads to try to not squish their tiny legs and their tiny heads. And Baba's definitely seen me do this before. Carry out, when I moved into my house, there was a box with this cucaracha in it. And I was like, oh, Baba, I have to get the cup. And he was like, oh my God, you're right. I go, I don't even kill cockroaches. No, it has to go outside. And then he wouldn't get it for me. I remember I got the cup and I got him out. And then I stood outside and I go, where would be a nice spot? So I walked way over to this tree and then I let it go, right? And it's like, and I felt happy that I didn't harm it. It didn't, it was in a box that got moved in my moving process. I don't know where it came from, but it was there. And being as a person who cares about all life on earth, I want all life to thrive and be happy. Everything wants its own happiness. So I try not even, I'm aware when I even grab the plants in my house, I'm not violently dragging them around, or I try to help the things get out. So meta in action is taking a stance that the world is our altar. Let me walk upon this earth with love, right? Let me walk with bare feet. Let me walk sensitively. Not, it's inevitable that things will happen and that, things will die and we will try to protect life, but sometimes we can't. But it's that mind state, everybody, of non-harming. Can we begin to train in even the thought vibration of, oh my God, get this out, and start picking up a shoe or something, or with anything? Can I have this mind of non-harming with the people, with the thought vibration? How do we move that? So that is our first training. I invite you into this idea that as you walk on the earth, you begin to protect all the vulnerable little things out there, right? I remember reading this sutta, a story about this Tibetan nun, and they were, or as a story, not a sutta, but a story about these Tibetan nuns that when their country was invaded, they were put to work. And they were like in these forced camps by the Chinese military. And they were forced out into this forest one day, and they were told to cut down all the trees, and they wouldn't do it. They said, no, we won't do it because that's a form of harm. And they ended up having to go into prison, and they suffered all this additional, these penalties and all that. And they both said, we will not participate no matter what you do in the harm. And I thought, my God, they were so brave. Their vow of non-harming. We won't cut the tree because trees are alive and the animals live in the trees and there's a whole ecosystem in there, and we won't be a part of it. And it's just so incredible how that vow can be. So let us move into that vow in our lives. Let's try to just work toward that, just incline the mind. And then another vow that we take as a part of bringing our metta in the world is we take nothing that is not offered to us, right? And only things that are offered. We're just so mindful when, we're only taking what is offered. We're not taking extra, right? And also we take a vow of when we show up somewhere, we try to do it with generosity, right? Instead of always being like, what can I get? We come into space and go, well, what can I give? It's like the opposite of shopping, right? You walk in a store and you go, what do I want in here? It feeds that like wanting mind. We show up places and go, what can I give? Even if it's just a handshake, right? Even if it's a smile, even if it's, so we just make this vow that we will never take what is not offered, and that we'll always try to practice showing up with the sense of that generous, boundless heart. There's always love to give, everybody. There is always love to give. I remember I used to have this friend when I was growing up. She was from the Philippines, and she came from a really large family, but they only lived in like maybe a 1-bedroom apartment. They were in LA, and the area where I lived. And I remember like every time I would come to their home, their mother would pack me up this little cup of rice. And it was this giant bag in her closet in her bedroom. But it was that offering of, take this to your mother. Here's a gift for your mother. And that was literally all they had. They had so little. But just that rice used to make me so happy. I used to be like, oh, and I remember I used to take it home, and then I would put it in a cup, and there would be these little cups all over. My mother would be like, where's all this rice coming from? I'd be like, well, that's a gift from Shania's mother. And we would both pause and be like, sometimes it's not even the expensive things. It's like these little handmade little things, that are I don't know. Sometimes it's just the sweetness of giving. So that's also how we manifest meta in the world. It's like, what little thing can I offer? What can I give? It's such a abundant mind state. And it doesn't have to be some huge, grandiose thing. Often the best things are not that. The best things are not that. It's that cup of rice. I remember my teacher, Jack Cornfield, he used to say that too when he was a monk in Thailand, and he would go out on begging. The monks begged for their noon meal, and all the villagers would line up and they would place little foods in their begging bowl. And he goes, you know what? The best food I ever had was when I was a monk in Thailand. And I went, really? I go, why? He goes, because it had generosity in it. And you can taste it. You know, everything is vibration. Okay, so this is how we take our love out and embody it in the world, right? We don't want to just sit on the cushion. We want to train body, speech, and mind to vibrate with that frequency of love and compassion. And then the third one is around the speech of a wise being. So reminding yourself over and over that words have power. Oh my God, the words that we say to ourselves, we see the devastation of that on and of itself, right? The words that we tell ourselves about who we are, if we have words of self-hatred, oh, it's so painful, right? But if we have words of care and love, and we begin to speak those out into the world, right? Loving words bring people together. So we always want to tell the truth, right, to ourselves and others. This is part of the wisdom of speech. Even if it's hard, we speak the truth, but we do it with great care, right? Reminding ourselves that love can heal rifts. Love can bring people together. We always want to avoid divisive speech, pitting people against each other, or just, or just participating in hate speech of any kind. I'm starting to become more and more aware of the subtleties. It's really easy to get into that right now because certain people are highlighted and they're doing certain things in the world. And it's easy to start just going in on like, they're a demon, and then we start, and it's like, it has a vibration, like kind of hate to it. It's like we can pretend it's nice, but just remembering that the meta through the verbal door, let all of our words be like mantras, right? And the world is longing for beautiful speech, for words of love, of care, of interconnectedness. We don't even get to hear that anymore. Don't we all long for that? I wish somebody would give a speech about the power of love and healing. We'd all be like, oh, we wouldn't even know how to receive it. It's just so harsh. So important to vibrate your meta practice, that frequency. So let's avoid bashing one another. Instead, we just celebrate the beauty of who we do support, what is beautiful in the world. And also we try to avoid useless speech and gossip and words that don't mean anything, right? We use our words to express meta. And this is really, really a practice, everybody, of bringing it into the world. Remind yourself that words have great power. I remember there was this text in the Pali Canon where the Buddha was talking to his son. I don't know how many people know, but the Buddha, before he left to be a renunciate, he had a son born. And he came back to the palace after he had full awakening, and his son was 7 years old. And he ordained his son, and his son went with him, Rahula, and stayed with him for pretty much all of his life. And he was training Rahula in speech, wise speech. And he said, Rahula, don't even lie, even as a joke, because you will condition your mind to delusion. Don't even pretend to lie, right? Because that is the power of, we repeat a certain habit over and over. How it becomes so ingrained, right? When you're around people who have a lot of negative speech, what happens to you? You start picking it up. If you hang around people who are cursing a lot, you start doing, like, everything is conditioning. Like, we all get habits and we get swayed by the energies around us. So you be the one to set the tone, right? You be that lighthouse and people will then follow that, right? But it starts with you. Remember, you're the light. We're light carriers of this Brahma Vihara energy of the meta medicine. We're beacons of this. So remember that harsh speech is also something that's so painful. As I was working with my mother, she was just sharing with me more stories from just such a painful childhood full of like just the most heartbreaking experiences. And again, I was just reminded like, oh, human beings can be so harsh, but let our speech be not delusional, meaning we don't tell the truth, but we speak with a kindness and a softness. Beings are fragile and we are fragile, right? So the more soft you are in the inside, guess what? The more soft it will be with others. So speak kindly to yourselves every moment. Try. I forgive myself, especially if we feel ashamed or something comes up where we get something pointed out. There's nothing like getting feedback where we go, we can spiral into shame. But I love that when I'm in a shame spiral of something or something's happened or I've messed up on something or somebody's upset or I let someone down, to just come into my heart and be like, I did my best and I'll do my best to repair. Right? That's all we can say is I did my best, right? And so just reminding yourself to soften the words internally, that will allow you to soften the words externally. How people talk to themselves is how they will talk to you. You'll know that right away, right? So reminding yourself about the power of the word. The whispers of the heart is heard by the universe, everyone. Where our words are amplified. And so just how much the metta transforms that side, and it can turn our words into nectar, healing energy, songs of beauty, versus, more suffering, right? We want to move away from the things that cause suffering, right? And move toward what heals us, what heals our hearts. Okay, so the other area that we want to practice is just also really being mindful of our sexual energy and really only using it as an expression of love and metta. Like, can I express love through my body right now? And if the answer is no, then pause. Let it be motivated by that divinity of that expression, like where sexual energy is infused with compassion. We become like a instrument of it, right? An instrument of that joy and that love and that compassion, versus coming from a place of trying to take or need or grasp or control. Or so just like we start watching where our motivations are coming from. I'm seeing this so much more. It's like, can I align every thought of my mind and then my speech and my actions with metta? Right? And that's our practice. And you'll see where it's not all the time. And then you go, oh, okay, wow. Okay, let me align that. Okay, let me align that. And I always have this mantra, Bob and I have it, and we go, well, we work for the Lord, the words, and I say that in a joking way, the Lord, I'm not really religious in that way, but I like the word, the Lord. I work for the Lord. I work for the universe. I work for the universal love force, and therefore I need to align with that. I want to align with that. So I ask to be aligned. We can pray for that alignment. May all my words be aligned with metta. May my thoughts, my words, and then action be aligned. That's how we create good karma. That's how the seeds begin to ripen, right? We move with the sense of, first it happens in the mind, then it comes out of the mouth, then we act. And we want all of that to be aligned with our metta medicine practices. This is where the heart will then be so joyful, right? And then what we'll have from that is what a mind state that the Buddha called the bliss of blamelessness, right? Where we have like a purity because it's like, well, I haven't done anything, right? And we slow down too when we're practicing, right? This is ethical conduct gives us peace of mind, right? Go ahead and look at the books. I haven't done anything. Here you go. It's like there's a bliss in that. There's a bliss of not carrying the weight of actions that are not aligned. That creates a lot of hiding of ourselves, right? We feel that we're in danger or we'll be found out. So ethical conduct is metta. I try not to do anything now because the moment something's not aligned, I'll be like, oh no, I will suffer and I don't want the suffering. So I'd rather do everything I can to live in alignment with love because at the end of the day, I could sleep well at night. You know that feeling where you go to bed and you're like, this is a good day, a good practice. Here I go, right? We don't have to worry and fret. So let your sense of ethics be rooted in love for yourself and all beings. This is where we can infuse that. And then the last training that is pointed out with ethics is around intoxicants, right? And I think this is things that cloud the mind and make us lose awareness, right? Some people can have one glass of wine and other people cannot, right? One glass becomes 10 and then all the other things go wrong, right? It was like a slippery slope. So we sort of commit to clarity, right? So that we can do our practices. So that I can show up in a loving way. I can be as clear as I can. And at this day, this is revolutionary. Nobody wants to be clear and present anymore. Everyone wants just a little altered. Let me get through the moment. Let me get through the moment. I have one of my cousins recently. It was really amazing. She was a very, very high functioning alcoholic, like super high functioning. And until it all began to kind of fall apart, right? The functioning started going out. But for many years, to take the edge off her children and her husband and the pressures and all of that, she actually maintained a very beautiful, polished exterior and got tons done. But it was always a couple of bottles of wine every night. And there was this cost. And over the last year, she was like, I cannot believe like my life has changed so much. I'm so much more in my heart. It's hard to be in your heart if you're not really in your body, everyone, right? And we leave plant medicine aside because those aren't intoxicants in the way that we use things, and that everyday use. But so just to be mindful of things that keep you out of your heart. Basically, that's an intoxicant, something that prevents you from feeling. So we can use that much broader. Intoxicants can be food, it can be addiction to TV, it can be a lot of things that prevent us from showing up. So this is how we start to train, everyone. We start to move the metta and we start to look at every area where we can bring it in, where we can lean into that. Right? So we lean in with being protectors of even the cucarachas that jump around in your kitchen late at night. In the South, that's more common than other, but I was used to that from South America. When I lived in the jungle, I remember these spiders that were so huge. I mean, and I would want to scream and then I would be like, well, this is part of life. I wouldn't get it out. I would call someone else to get it out. But I could just remember I didn't want any harm. So it's that spirit. Just start with the spirit of it, right? May I be a protector of all of life and all of its infinite display of magic from animals to people to, we just commit to that. And as you commit to these ethical frameworks, your practice will take off. Your heart practice, your mindfulness, your whole spiritual life will catch a wave that you've never known before when you really are steeped in the ethics of love, right? There's no more compartmentalization that that we're one way at work and we're another way at home and then we're another way at our heart class. Those three those three chains need to all be woven together. I am who I am with my mother. I am who I am here. I am who I am, wherever it is. We want that to all become unified so that our lives become an expression of the ethics of the heart and the ethics of love. Does that make sense, everybody? Is there any questions or anything or any comments on that? Or, yeah, I'm just curious if anything comes up for you all here in the last few minutes around that. And this is how we want to start training in the heart practices of metta. Maybe, Baba, you have something you might want to share with us with your wisdom.
Hello, namaste.
Namaste.
Oh my goodness, yes. I remember that moment just to bring up the roach. I am not a fan growing up in Florida of flying roaches, these big old palmetto bugs, and I was like, oh my gosh, you are the real deal because you really did show a lot of compassion. So I was like, I would have no hesitation. That's my one pass, I think, of my own karma. Get this roach out of here. And but you were so kind to the roach. She's like, don't kill it. I'll take. I was like, yeah, you do it, not me. So that was a beautiful teaching right there. So that's why I really saw your commitment, because that's true commitment, and I appreciate it. So much of it's so beautiful what you shared today, because so much I've shared with this group around my deep care of others, especially my mom and aunt. I have some friends that have things that they need, like physical care to their body. And one of the things I realized over the last week, and you and I have shared conversation over this like today and yesterday, is like this really lack of awareness of my own body, my own care, self-care has really, I feel very depleted and very out of alignment. And it's such a beautiful thing. And some of it, how it showed up is even in the spiritual space of ritual. So this overconsumption of ritual and not really being present in my body with ritual. So I really do love over the last couple of days, as beautiful it is to have a continuous flow of ritual. What does it look like to get realigned in the practice in my own body as I even go into these sacred spaces? And I've been thinking very deeply about that, because you can even do bypassing of your own body if you allow yourself to get in the busyness of ritual, which can be beautiful. But if the intention is to not be in your heart in the practice, you miss the whole point. So that has been a real deep teaching for me the last couple of days, because I can care for these different beings, because I love me a good deity and people, but if I'm not pouring that same level of light into my own heart with metta in that way, it's like I'm also causing unnecessary harm to myself. So really it goes back to what you said before, self-compassion and a deeper self-love. So that's something that I'm really learning right now in a very vulnerable space. How can I pour that same level of devotion to myself, which is its own dance for me? Sometimes I'm used to serving others. So that's what I like to share today.
That is so good. I think that's the perfect comment for this moment, Baba, because exactly it's easy for us to lose sight of ourselves. That's why I focus this heart medicine on ourselves, because when we know how to love and attune to ourselves, it naturally is ease and balanced with others. When we don't know so much how to balance that, we do lose ourselves in and we lose connection and I just think we have to constantly also keep coming back to self-love. You could do metta for yourself for the rest of your life and it would be a gift to humanity, everybody. To learn how to love yourself is learning how to love me and all beings. We are the collective. We are that. And so taking the time to navigate the self-talk and even to understand in any moment, Baba, I think it's really important. What do I need in this moment? What does love look like right now? What is a loving gesture? Do I need rest? Do I need food? Do I need a hug? Do I need to just be feeling in my breath and just stop and pause and deeply attune? Oftentimes, what we are craving is presence, everyone. We are craving presence. When you want someone to show that they love you, how do people show they love each other? They stop, they look in your eyes, and they're like, I'm present with you. That's how we show love. Really, I'm present in a loving way. Okay, let's be here together. That's the way I show love, is giving my full attention. So loving yourself really is about being present with yourself. It's an act of love, just mindful breathing, allowing yourself to feel, not suppressing things that are coming up. And that is a training. So that's a beautiful, Baba. Thank you very much for reminding us of that. Loving ourselves, it can be such a tricky dance. Why is it so hard? It's like it's the end, it's the beginning and the end of the story. It's like we get that right, we're on our way, we're well on our way on the path, but it takes a long time, and it takes a kind of deep recalibrating away from self abuse, self hatred, shutting ourselves off to life, or overwork, because that's how we've been programmed, over caring, not seeing ourselves. So thank you for the reminder. And I want to thank you all so much for being on our class. If you'd like to make a donation, you can always do that, because it really supports the work that we do. I want to remind everyone that if you ever feel like you missed a class, all these classes go on my YouTube channel, where we just edit out just the Dharma talk. So if you feel like you missed anything, you can always go to my YouTube channel. There's always a recording there. I try to post the talk parts only and name them, so you can revisit the meta anytime. And just know, everyone, also, I'm doing many personal sessions right now. And if you'd like to have a personal one-on-one session, you can look on my website. You can also do that. And we have several retreats coming up. We still have a couple spots left in our Medicine of the Heart retreat, which is in California. If you feel like you want to jump in on that, that would be beautiful. And you can look at my other retreat coming up in June in Big Bear, meditation, kirtan, just so many things, all dedicated to the heart, everyone. This is my practice. This is what I'm committed to. This is the revolution right now. This is the cutting edge, is how to walk in love in the fires that are unfolding right now. So Baba is lovingly posting those. But the main thing about this class is practice, 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 right? Tomorrow, the next day, try to commit to reminding yourself you can do it while you're cooking, cleaning, walking, anytime you can feel your body. Continue with the mantras. They have a powerful effect. So play with it. So on that note, I give thanks to everyone and the spirits for joining us. Thank you. And let's turn off our microphone so we can say bye. It's always so good to see you all. Every week I see Manny on there. I see you, Pamela, Marjorie, and Cynthia. And oh yes, Robert,
Bye.
there you are from Minnesota. Thank you all.